Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerdpocalypse Podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
All right, guys, we're back. Plenty to talk about this week. Some bigger stories, not too many little stories, but some pretty big stories. Sorry we were out last week, so we may be covering a couple of things that have been a little old for everybody else. All right, checked out this week. Micah, you watched Batman: The Long Halloween Part 2.
Yes, I did. If you were the type of person that respected animation as a storytelling medium,
I don't.
You do not. But if you did, these two movies would be your favorite Batman story.
Really?
Yeah.
They're that good?
Yeah. They're very grown up. Like, they're very mature. And when I say mature, I don't mean mature in the way an adolescent sees the word mature and thinks, boobs, right? Like,
oh, that's how I saw it. Sorry.
Well, you're an adolescent. This is a dark movie, dude. Like, this is like Christopher Nolan Dark Knight dark.
Well, that's the basis for his movie anyway. So.
Yeah, Long Halloween is the basis for the Dark Knight, right? Like, it takes elements from the Long Halloween, mainly involving Harvey Dent. And yeah, this is really good, man. This is it's the same like in-house animation style, and it's it changes a few things from the comic, especially the first one, right? Because the first one, like, look, spoiler alert, the first one, Alberto Falcone dies, and it's not a fake death. Like, they make sure that you know that he's dead, because he falls, like, I don't know if you remember the book, but
it's been a long time since I read it.
On New Year's, Alberto Falcone, the son, he gets shot on the yacht at New Year's Eve, right? And he falls into the ocean, right? And at the end of that book, turns out, oh, he survived, right? Because nobody found a body. At the end of the first one, he gets shot on the yacht at New Year's Eve, and he falls into the ocean, and then they show him in the ocean, and then he gets hit by the propeller on the yacht.
Jesus Christ.
So there's literally no way that he can come back and be like, it was me, Austin. It was me all along. Right. Like, there's literally no way that can happen.
Right.
So that, so the ending is changed a bit. I think the ending is changed for the better.
Okay. Because I hadn't finished part 1. Which I realize I need to just go back and just totally rewatch it. So I haven't seen part 2 yet. So
you should watch 1 and 2. It'll be like 3 hours, because they're both like 90 minutes. But I think you would really dig them, because, like, if these were live action, yeah, these would be your favorite Batman stories, and you like Batman. Like, it's
my favorite.
It's a no-brainer for you. So, yeah, I highly recommend those 2 movies, man. They're amazing. I love them.
I really like the animation style. I like going back to the sort of quasi 1950s Art Deco style of Batman, the animated series. I always appreciate that. That's probably my favorite design world of Batman. It works in a weird way of, like, crazy modern technology and then, like, old 50s cars and, like, in dames. Like, it's weird. But I like it. Like, it's like Gotham by Gaslight, but not quite. It's like, it's very weird, middle ground. But yeah, I'll definitely check this out. It's in my list of things to watch next week, along with Pig, which I'm very excited to watch.
Yeah. I'll watch that so we can talk about Pig next week.
Yeah. All right. So, highly recommend. Okay, great. I watched a movie that I could not recommend more. Speaking of very adult, Zola I saw. Look, if you don't know this story, this is an A24 film, right? And it is the least artsy, sort of, I wouldn't say A24 is artsy fartsy, but it can be, right? Like, some of their movies can be pretty artsy fartsy. But some of their other movies, like I'm dying to see The Green Knight, I hear is very artsy, but looks very, like, straightforward, in a lot of ways. But, Zola is, like, probably their most straightforward movie, and it is tremendous. It is so good. So if you don't know this story, this whole movie came about because a woman who goes by Zola, decided that she was going to tweet out this like 144 tweet story, about this time she met up with this woman named Stephanie, and Zola was a part-time stripper, and she meets this white woman. Zola's black, and she meets this white woman, who's a stripper, and she's like, hey, they become like fast friends, and she's like, hey, me and some people are going down to Florida to go strip at this place. And the last time we were down there, we made like $5,000 a night. You trying to go? And she's like, hell yeah, girl. Like, I'm trying to make this money. And the story just devolves from there. And I don't want to give anything away for people who've never seen or read that tweet story. It's kind of amazing. You can go on YouTube and just like Google Zola tweet story or whatever, and there's like people reading the tweet, so you don't have to actually go back and find them and reading through the whole story. But I just recommend just watch the movie. The movie takes a couple of liberties with like stretching out the story a bit and like adding some things here and there, but not so much that's not there. Like, cause it starts out by saying this is a mostly true story, like to give themselves legal coverage, I'm sure. No, it's fucking awesome. And that story is legendary. And if you don't know the story, even better for you. Like it's crazy. Did you ever read that whole tweet storm?
No, I'm not reading 144 pages of 144 characters. I wasn't going to do that.
Watch the movie then. Watch the movie.
Let me ask you a question, because like this must be a hell of a story. How long is this movie?
It's 90 minutes. It's perfect time. It's exactly the amount of time it needs to be.
This better be a hell of a story, because I can't imagine. I can't imagine that. Like, people have trouble adapting like straight up books and novels to film. There's not much going. There's not a lot of meat in a tweet.
Nah, yo, but it's 144 tweets. Like she's going through the entire story across 144 tweets. Like, I mean, it literally starts out with I think the line is like, you want me to tell you how I fell out with this bitch? It's a crazy story. It's long, but it's got a lot of suspense. Yo, it does. The story I don't know how true it is, right? I think it's largely true, what she tweeted. And maybe she embellished a bit, like just for, fucking internet points. I don't know. But like the general premise of these two women, going down to Florida, it just devolves. Like the white chick has got like this boyfriend who's kind of a loser and like a little, what people would refer to. I hate this term, but he's kind of a beta or whatever. I fucking hate that term. It's stupid. But, and so he's kind of powerless to like affect the situation that's happening to him. Then they're also, the guy driving is played by Coleman Domingo, who is kind of yeah, right. Like, nah, dude, look, people sleep on that guy, man. That guy he's really good. That dude is super good. And he's super good in this, where he kind of plays, this doesn't give anything away necessarily, but he kind of plays a pimp. Not even kind of, he definitely does. And where it goes from them going to strip to where it ends up is pretty wild. It's Taylor Page. She does a really good job. She was also in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. She was the woman who was with Ma Rainey. That was like her girlfriend or whatever. She plays Zola. Riley Keough, who is is Stephanie, she's just a trashy white girl. She just is a trashy white girl. Coleman Domingo is great. Like everybody is good in it. Nicholas Braun, who plays the boyfriend, is great. No, I highly recommend it. It was really good. They did a good job. I can't believe they pulled it off as well as they did, but it's good. It's damn good. So, I look forward to hearing people's thoughts on it. Like it was very good. Micah, you watched a movie that I assume is also great.
It's fine.
Don't you dare oversell it. Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, my wife wanted to watch Jungle Cruise. So me being a loving, caring husband, sacrifices have to be made. No, look, that movie's fine. It's fine. It's way more The Mummy than it is Pirates of the Caribbean, but it's The Mummy and Pirates of the Caribbean.
I mean, I watched the pitch meeting on that one. I was like, come on, man. Like, they're showing clips. I'm like, yo, this is exactly Pirates of the Caribbean. Holy shit.
It's way more The Mummy, to the point where, like, the main character is this, like, really smart, plucky, fearless woman with a foppish brother who meets a handsome gentleman and they don't get along at the beginning, but then, they grow to kind of be fond of one another during their adventure. And then it's like pirates in that, who cares? It's like pirates in that there's a curse and shit. And
the guys are morphed with, like, jungle environments.
Yeah. Like,
that's exactly pirates.
It's like, it's The Mummy to the point where there's even a gag with the female lead in like a dusty old library where there's a ladder. Like, if you remember The Mummy, like, that's exactly how The Mummy opened, like, exactly how it opened. So look, here's the thing. I don't hate The Mummy, the first one.
No, the first Mummy is good. It's a good movie.
I don't hate the first Mummy, and I don't hate the first two Pirates of the Caribbean, and I don't hate this.
No, they're like right down the line entertaining movies.
This is something that you can take a family to see, and everyone in the family will enjoy it. This is the definition of a 4-quadrant movie. Right.
Yeah.
Like, it's like they genetically designed this movie to get the most money it possibly can.
Which is crazy that this has to be released day and date on streaming, because this movie would have made a fucking billion.
This movie would have made a lot of money, man. Yeah. Especially, like, coming out of it, like, it's a movie you could take the whole entire family to see, man.
To get COVID, right? The whole family. Oops.
Yeah, it's the best thing about the movie is The Rock and oh my gosh, I can't remember her name. Emily Blunt. They have a very good chemistry until it gets to, like, romantic chemistry.
He'll have that,
which is weird.
He has no romantic chemistry with anybody.
I haven't. Yeah, I don't. It's just weird, but, like, I like the two of them together until they start kissing each other, and I'm like, ooh, like, okay, I guess. That's weird.
Stop that.
But no, the two of them. Look, we give The Rock a hard time, but we like The Rock. But he's a
charismatic guy. Like, I can totally believe.
Yeah, his charisma is off the fucking charts, dude.
Yeah,
like, I don't know what it is about that guy, but he's very much he smiles at you and it's like, all right, man.
I like the guy.
All right. But he does a very good job in this, and I appreciate it because it's not his Hobbs character. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I think I had seen him as Hobbs one too many times, and that alpha male, like, bro dog shit just kind of.
I don't like him in characters like that. I
don't like him in characters like that. And he's kind of like that in real life. And I don't like that shit, right? Like, it just, like, you're better than that. And he doesn't play that character.
Right.
And he plays like a con man. And
that's weird. Interesting.
He does a good job with it.
Well, I mean, if it's anything like The Mummy in Brendan Fraser's performance of that, like, he's a rogue, right? Like,
yeah.
Look, I know people say that, Chris Pratt is doing, like, his best impression of Harrison Ford, basically, in those Guardians of the Galaxy movies, which is, like, largely true, right? But like, put some respect on Brendan Fraser. Like, he had that rogue shit down, like the funny goofball rogue guy character down in those Mummy movies. Like, he owned that premise for a while, like in Hollywood.
That's why everybody loves Brendan Fraser. Right?
Yeah.
Like his role in the Mummies is one of the reasons why, right? Like,
easily,
he was that cool dude, right? He was that, like you said, he was that cool rogue. And The Rock does a good job with it. Emily Blunt is a perfect lead.
I never have anything negative to say about her.
Yeah, I like her in pretty much everything I've seen her in, and she does it really well. I think she might have been sitting in on the classes that Vin Diesel was giving The Rock about acting, because the two of them do a very good job. And I guess that's due to Vin Diesel's tough love.
Street Sharks. Yeah, I mean, that's legitimately what happened. What?
Jack Whitehall plays her brother, and
I like that guy. He's all right.
And he is, people are. I don't know if this is the first. Everyone says this is the first gay character that Disney has. I feel like that's not true.
That definitely doesn't feel true.
Yeah, but he plays the role. They establish that he is gay without like making it too obvious, right? Like they have like gags where it's like, oh, well, I'm going to go on this jungle cruise and here are these people bringing all this luggage, and Dwayne Johnson is like, oh, well, you tell your sister that you can't bring all that luggage, and he's like, no, that's for me. And
gay guys in clothes, all right,
because gay people are fashionable, I guess.
That's a pretty tired trope.
Yeah,
it's not offensive; it's just lame.
But like, here's the thing, right? Like, if you're gonna, Paul Giamatti's in this too. Paul Giamatti's awesome. Paul Giamatti,
he's great in everything.
He is. He's great in everything. He plays like this, like Italian, like he's a harbor master, and but he plays this like really sleazy like character. Mm-hmm. He's got a gold tooth and he's got like acne all over his face. Like he's a phenomenal character actor, man. I love seeing him and everything.
It sounds like you love this movie.
This movie's not bad, man. It's not. It's not. Like, it's got its silly moments, and it's got its like me and my wife.
Yeah, I heard.
Me and my wife are like, "Come on, yo, what is this?
Yeah, Conquistador, really? Okay.
Yeah, right. Like, we're laughing at it, but we're having a good time.
Right, but that's what this movie should be. I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. So, this movie's not bad. I don't know if I would recommend it to. I would only recommend it to like people who like just want to have a good time. Like, it's not the best thing in the world. Like, it's not better than The Mummy. And quite frankly, it's not better than the second Mummy.
That first Mummy movie is a solid ass fun action movie.
Yeah, it's like if this could have been the third Mummy movie, then yeah, it would.
Or the third Pirates movie, because that was
the third Pirates movie. Right,
that was a piece of shit.
But yeah, this movie's not bad, man. This movie's not bad.
Okay.
So
I'll never see it, but that's fine. Like, it doesn't serve any interest to me. I don't need to see a worse Mummy movie or somehow a worse Pirates movie. But yeah,
I wouldn't pay $30 for the all access, even though I did.
Right. No, you saw it in theaters. Right. I got it.
Yeah. I would wait for this to be free on Disney Plus if you have it, and then watch it then. It's fun.
Okay. There you go. I'm not going to do that, but I'm not ever going to do that, but that's fine. All right. So you and I both watched Masters of the Universe Revelation.
We can, there's a lot that we can talk about regarding this.
Yeah.
I'm not just this. I'm talking about the overall, like, I've been researching the opinions that this series.
Look, I'm going to ridicule some of these opinions because I think they're garbage, and then I'm going to agree with some of it. Right? It's about a girl Not a valid criticism. That's a terrible criticism. Like it is. And that's a lot of it. Like that's a lot of it. It's a bait and switch and it's not really about He-Man. It's a fair criticism. Like it's kind of a fair criticism.
No.
If you wanted a Simple Simon, straightforward 1980s cartoon, then if that's what you were looking for, that's not what you got. What you got was a much deeper dive into the universe, which I actually liked.
If it was called He-Man and the Masters of the Universe,
I agree with that.
Then I would be like, all right, maybe it's a bait and switch. No, it's called Masters of the Universe. It's about the entire thing. Look.
Right, you're not wrong. I'm just saying when people hear Masters of the Universe, I want to see He-Man. Right? I want to see a chest naked blonde man kicking ass. That's what they want to see.
I get it. Look,
I like He-Man.
You can take. I don't care for He-Man. He-Man was not my thing in the 80s. I've never.
You're more of a Thundercats man yourself.
I wasn't too big on Thundercats. I was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles guy. I was a Transformers guy. And then all that other stuff is just like
that's
noise. Fair. You know what I mean? All that other shit runs together.
Silverhawks, Tiger Sharks
runs together. It all runs together.
I mean, they were all the same actually, but that's fine.
Right. So I don't know like Masters of the Universe lore. I didn't see the 2000s revival of it. Right. So I say all that just so you can, you listening can, take my opinion with a grain of salt. If
throw it in the trash.
Right. Because you're not a real fan. Yeah. Right. I'm not a fanatic. But I like the show. I do. I thought it was interesting enough. The first episode 1 and episode 5 are the reason why I'm going to keep watching it.
Yep.
If episode 5 didn't happen, I wouldn't finish it because I don't care. But
okay, that's right.
But I'm curious enough after that cliffhanger.
Are we talking spoilers? We're gonna talk spoilers?
I mean, we could talk spoilers. I don't give a shit.
All right, let's talk spoilers. I like the idea that like Skeletor was like, "What's up, yo?" Stabbed, killed fucking Prince Adam. Like, get out of here. No, you don't have the power, nigga. I do. I was like, God damn. I spent the whole series as a like, we're gonna get He-Man back. No. It's like, Jesus Christ. I'm sure he will return. Like, whatever.
Of course He-Man's coming back, yo.
Yeah, you're not gonna kill He-Man and be done with it. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I just need everybody to calm down, yo. I need everybody to calm down. Quite frankly, this is probably the best thing you can do, right? Like, flesh out all these other characters. Flesh out all these other. I didn't remember Teela. What the fuck? Yeah. I remember He-Man, Skeletor, Evil Lyn, Man at Arms, and that's about it.
She-Ra,
right? She-Ra and Battle Cat. I couldn't even remember Cringer's name. I just remember Battle Cat and Scared Battle Cat. Like I didn't even remember, right? But you got to flesh out this world. And I think Kevin Smith did a very, very good job of fleshing out this world for something that, all those shows in the 80s were made just to sell toys. But like Masters of the Universe, like these characters were so one dimensional. Even their fucking names were one dimensional. He-Man.
He-Man.
She-Ra. Lyn. Who's the skeleton man? I don't know. Skeletor. I don't know. All right.
Skeleman?
So for them to be able to flesh out this world, and these characters and give them agency, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
The style is, I like the style. I think the animation could be smoother, but I do like the style.
I like the way they're drawn. I mean, the animation itself is, I agree, is a little rough sometimes, but like, the style looks good. I like it.
Yeah.
Everyone's jacked for no reason.
Yeah. Teela doesn't look like a man, guys. She doesn't look like a man.
She looks like a woman who can lift more weights than you. It's okay.
Right.
Relax.
Like, I don't get it. Yo, they got Sir Davos to be man at arms, yo. Like,
look, what was it? Because there's 5 episodes. Was it episode 4 or episode 3 where they're on the ship and my man shows up just wrecking shit? That was awesome. I was like, the most dangerous man in eternity. I was like, yo, he kind of is. Like, he was a badass.
He was a badass, man. He was a badass. And look,
it was cool.
Think about the to use a wrestling parlance, think about the pop that's going to happen when He-Man comes back and starts kicking ass, right? Like,
right, that's what you want.
Kevin Smith knows how to tell a story, guys. Like, it might not be a good story from time to time, but he knows like the structure and how to, he knows how to tell a story. And when He-Man comes back and starts kicking ass, like, I feel like everyone's just going to forgive whatever transgressions this has, because all they want to see is He-Man, right? Where if I don't remember much of that cartoon, but I don't remember them doing a lot of fighting in it.
No, they weren't allowed to like throw punches or something.
Right. So what are you missing? What did he do wrong besides give you an action show? Besides make this show that
I'm telling you, their one thing is that it's not focused on He-Man. That's their biggest issue.
Which is weird, because He-Man or Prince Adam is in every episode. He's in every episode.
No, but he's not the focus. He's not the focus.
He's the point. He is the fucking, he's part of the fucking, he's the reason why they have to go and get the 2 fucking MacGuffins to glue the MacGuffins together to give it to him. What the fuck?
No, but he's not. But Tila. I mean, look. In fairness to their criticism,
he's not the point. He's not the point of view character. He's not the point of view.
And I think that's what I think that's what they want, because that's what the '80s cartoon was. Like, here's my thing. I can understand being upset, thinking feeling that it's a bait and switch. I can understand. Like, I can understand the argument of, I thought I was getting a He-Man show because like the focus, largely in the trailers and stuff, were He-Man taking on Skeletor or whatever. But if like you kind of watch the trailer again, it's literally that one fight. Like, it's not multiple fights or anything. You got like, oh shit, you got Mark Hamill as Skeletor. Like, this is gonna be awesome. Like, this is finally the He-Man that I wanted. And then He-Man dies, and then he is not back, like, really at all throughout the entire series. But you're right. Like, the point is to try to get him back, right? To go to literally to hell and to heaven to get him back. But I think that's their issue. I have one major criticism, which I think is easily fixable, and then I have a massive praise for the show. One, Sarah Michelle Gellar as Tila voice acting was not very good. Like, I did not think it was good at all. She like, I don't know if she just doesn't have a lot of experience doing that, or the script is a little, I mean, it's really wacky, so it's kind of maybe hard to emote really well. But at the same time, I say that, and my massive praise is, so if we're doing a live action one of these, we're getting Lena Headey as Evil Lynn, right? Like, she's so fucking good in this role. Like, apparently the second season is going to focus a lot on Evil Lynn, right? She was like my favorite character. Like, I thought she was so fucking good. As Evil Lynn, I really, really liked her. I thought she was great. Again, like, I was like, oh, long gray hair. Okay. I see you. I got it. I understand what's happening here. So I'm feeling a little bit of some kind of way. It's a little odd for me for animation. But no, I thought she was great. I just, like, I think she has such a commanding voice and like a presence, like, in live action, and she transferred that to this with like no problem. So if you're doing a live action version of this, universe, you should definitely just get her to do it. Also, Mark Hamill should play Skeletor. Get the fuck out of here. Like, he should. He's great. I mean, it's mostly kind of the Joker, but
I mean, it's his Joker voice, right? Like,
but it's so good. It's still, it works. It works for Skeletor.
I just really like his Joker voice, but it's his Joker voice.
Yeah, but it works for Skeletor though.
Yeah,
like it does.
Yeah.
So I liked it, but I definitely can understand why fans who thought they were getting just a He-Man, straight up He-Man series, felt a little gypped. I get it.
I understand it. like I understand it. What I don't understand is and I'm not saying don't criticize it. I'm saying if you don't like it, don't watch it.
Well, so I understand like not liking the fact that it's not about He-Man, because I was like, oh, this is gonna be like I just assumed, like I think most people would, oh, it's just like a full-on He-Man series, and like he's got his side characters or whatever, and like they'll deal with them and it'll be cool. When it wasn't, I was just like, oh, it's not gonna be about him. Okay, well, let's see what the series is. I was like, this is really good. Like I didn't immediately go, this sucks. No, it didn't suck. It's quite good. Teela's story is interesting. I mean, look, again, I don't know deep parts of the He-Man Eternia Masters of the Universe lore, but like, she's clearly She-Ra, right? Like, that's what we're doing? Like, I mean, she's got some sort of innate powers, right? Like, you know, they kind of, you know, didn't lightly touch on that. They pretty much showed it. So, that'll be cool. Like, that should probably happen in the second season. And then we can get, you know, He-Man and She-Ra teaming up and kicking ass against what they refer to as the Skelegod, Skeletor. So yeah, I'm fine with that.
It's I enjoyed the show, and I'll watch the second half just because of that cliffhanger at the end.
It's a good cliffhanger.
It's a very good cliffhanger, and the cliffhanger at the end of the first one got me to finish watching up to episode 5. Yeah, it's a well done show. All right, I'll give it to you. If you don't like it because He-Man is not the POV character, I get it, right? Like if I were to equate it to video games, this is like the Metal Gear Solid 2 of I don't know if you've ever played Metal Gear Solid 2. All of the marketing, you're familiar with the series, right?
Yes.
All of the marketing showed the first maybe half an hour to an hour of the game, which is all Snake Plissken. Well, he's Snake, but he's pretty much Snake Plissken.
Right.
And when you got the game, once you got past that hour, you play as Raiden, the blonde-haired smooth boy.
He's like the ninja or whatever, right?
Yeah, for the rest of the game.
Yeah, see, that's fucked up. That's a bait and switch.
It's and I guess I'm just used to it, but like that was the biggest like gotcha moment that I've experienced in like fandom. So this doesn't affect me as much.
Right.
I understand why I'm assuming they did it in this for the same reason that, or for a similar reason that it was done in Metal Gear Solid 2, which is the creator wanted you to appreciate Snake as this badass that you are learning from, right, and not the badass that you get to be.
That's a good point. Like,
and
yeah, that's exactly what the show is.
Right. Like and that's what I'm saying. When He-Man comes back, you're going to fucking bust a nut, right? Because it's going to be like, oh, I have the power. And then he's going to fucking, you know, get into his furry loincloth and start kicking ass or whatever He-Man does. But yeah, I dig it. I dig it.
I thought it was good.
I was reading an article on Vice.
Oh God.
And they were talking about fan blaming, and you know, that it's not a new phenomenon, but the naming convention is new, and fan blaming is essentially what fans of a series say that the creators of a series are doing to them when the fans see something as well, you didn't do this right.
I see. Yeah.
You know, think Star Wars fans in The Last Jedi, right?
Right.
And, you know, the article went on to talk about how Kevin Smith, you know, pushed back on fans quite angrily, which I don't know what I appreciate, because Kevin Smith is like, I like Kevin Smith, but I don't like the oh well, we're just trying our best, and
nah, fuck that. Like, they did a good
product, that dude.
You did a
fuck
good product.
That.
Like, you made a good product.
You are an artist, man, and you put your fucking heart and soul into some shit. And it's good to be able to take criticism, but like at some point, like nah, yo, like this is my work, like this is my livelihood. This is all I've ever wanted to do, and I appreciated that pushback that he was able to that he did, because he usually doesn't. And I never believe that from people.
Well,
like,
and
look, we can take criticism for our show, but yo, like there comes a point where like, yo, fuck you, Lamont, like get the fuck out of here, man. Like.
Right. Look, and I'll just say this. If you're writing reviews on our show and then you keep deleting them and then like rewriting more negative reviews so that you can hope that it pops up at the top, and you keep mentioning certain people and everything else. Hey, when you're in the first grade, when people do that and like a kid keeps hitting another kid, that's because they like them. Right. And they don't know how to express themselves and just be a normal person. So it's cool, dude. Like, we get it. You really, you got a crush on somebody, and you don't know how to fucking express yourself like an adult. So
look, I get it. I'm in your spank bank. I get it. All right.
Yeah, just like that TS guy. He just can't get enough.
You just can't get enough of it.
Yeah, right.
We can do some ASMR videos for those two.
Just those guys.
I'll give you. Yeah, we'll do some JOI videos for you.
I don't know what that is, and I swear I don't want to know what that is.
You don't want to know.
I really don't. I don't want to know what that is. I will say happily ignorant about whatever the fuck that is. Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, it's really weird. So yeah, look, Masters of the Universe Revelation. Yeah, I think it's okay to push back on. Look, again, I think you can say, hey man, I was really looking forward to a He-Man centric show.
Yeah, I get it.
And I'm disappointed that wasn't it. It's about a girl. It's not a valid criticism, man. Like, it's about the universe. And Teela's an interesting character. Like, she is an interesting character. And I don't give a fuck what nobody says. If you didn't watch it to see Man at Arms come on that boat and kicking all kinds of ass, I want to hear nothing you got to say. It was awesome. It was great.
Kevin there fucked up Batman. That was Kevin Conroy as Merman, guys.
Oh, was it? Holy shit, I didn't know that. Wow.
There's got some strong voice talent in this show, man.
Yeah. And then Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Voice talent. Yeah, there you go.
Wow, he was
Alicia
Merman?
Silverstone is in that movie or show. You believe that shit? Fucking Alicia Silverstone. Batgirl was in it.
Uncle Alfred. Get it. Yo, Phil Lamar was Hero. That's hilarious. Justin Long was Robot. Wow. I hadn't looked. Okay, that's pretty good. Jason Mewes was Stinkor. That's pretty great. Yeah, I hadn't really looked at the voice talent on this. That's really funny. Stephen Root, that makes a lot of sense as Cringer. Yeah, like that totally works. Yeah. So, Masters of the Universe Revelation on Netflix. It was very good. I enjoyed it. It's only 5 episodes, and they're like 30 minutes apiece.
Yeah, you knock it out in like almost 2 hours.
Yeah, pretty easy. All right, movie and TV news. Micah, take it away.
Movie and TV news. Micah, take it away. Blue Beetle live action movie has found its lead, apparently.
Yeah, go ahead and pronounce that guy's name, please, by all means.
Is that a guy or is that a woman?
It's a guy. It's the guy from Cobra Kai.
Which guy from Cobra Kai?
The main kid.
The main kid from Cobra Kai?
Yep.
What's that kid's name?
I don't know, but
Cobra Kai.
No, you got it. It's right in the article.
Cobra Kai.
No, go ahead. It's the third. His first name is the third word in this article. You got it. Go ahead.
Well, you see what I'm doing is I'm trying to stall as much as I can, so that I can pull up a pronouncer.
Nah, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just let this be dead air. Like, go ahead, you good. Yeah, this is not a name we're gonna get right, so we apologize. Zola Miraduena? Question mark? Leonardo is screaming as he's listening to this.
Xolo Marileña.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah,
but wrong.
That's the only time I'm gonna say it.
I need to hear someone say it. I need to hear him say it, actually, so I can get it remotely right. Look, he's very good on Cobra Kai, actually. I like him a lot as the lead. That's cool, man. That's dope. Good for him.
All right, Blue Beetle's coming. It's a movie. Oh wow,
yeah,
like
a live action movie. Yes.
I didn't realize that it was going to be a live action movie. Okay. He'll be taking on the lead role of Jamie Reyes or Jaime Reyes in DC's first adaptation of a comic that focuses on a Latino superhero. While learning about his new character, this guy from Cobra Kai explained that he's most excited to represent a Latino character. Isn't that amazing, right? Like,
yep,
like the one thing that actors really want to be is superheroes. And no matter what legendary directors say, they really want to be superheroes and they really want to be seen.
Yep.
Quote, the only thing that is on my mind right now is just the fact that he's Latino. I have so much pride in getting to be a part of this project with Angel, someone like him, he said. I think it's so important, and I don't want to stand on the soapbox for too long, but representation is so important. Yeah, man. Like, it is. Like, one day we'll get to a point where we won't have to,
right?
Where we won't have to, like, acknowledge the fact that, like, but I think it'll be a very long time.
Well, it should get to the point where you just cast people and there's enough, okay, like as far as comic book, movies are concerned, there's just enough characters of color and white characters that you can just cast a bunch of people and people just go, yeah, that's fine. Like, who gives a shit? Like, it's, it's like, you don't have to say, oh, the first Latin character, oh, the second black character. You can just, like, whatever. Like, I mean, as many characters as Marvel has done over the last number of years, they're just getting to their Latin hero, right? Like, it's a little ridiculous, but it's finally happening, and it's not even a solo project, but America Chavez is coming, so I'm sure if it works out, she'll get a bigger role in the MCU. So, like, it's great. I like it. I mean, I don't care anything about the Blue Beetle character. But I do feel like if you're going to do a live action Blue Beetle character, you have to do a live action Booster Gold to team them up. Like, that just makes sense. Like, it just makes sense. How you do that, I don't know, but, do people want that? I don't know. I don't think people really know, because I don't think Blue Beetle is certainly not big enough in the mainstream, for people to be like, feel really strongly one way or the other. I'm not talking about comic book fans. I'm just talking about regular people. Like,
not yet anyway, right? Yeah. Like, nobody cared about, no mainstream person ever cared about Iron Man in 2006.
No.
In 2007, everybody, blew the fuck up.
Right. So you can make Blue Beetle a household name. You never know. I hope it works. I'm super excited for what they have in store. Incidentally, we don't have the story on the docket, but there were a couple articles coming out recently, like Margot Robbie was interviewed, and they were like, how are you feeling? Suicide Squad's coming out. By the way, it's out if you're listening to this now. They're like, how are you feeling about the Harley Quinn character? You got to play her again in this. And apparently she had said, like, she wants to take a break from the character because she had played her a lot in a year. Like 3 times within like 2 years or something crazy like that. And so she was like, yeah, I just kind of want to take a break. Harley is a lot. Like, she's just a fucking psycho character. So it's exhausting to play. After Suicide Squad's reviews came out, she was like, nah, I'm good. I'm done taking a break. Like, I'm ready to play Harley again. She said that she saw the copy of the script for Suicide Squad, and they had already had Gunn attached to it. And, because Gunn did the story as well. And she was like, if it was anyone besides James Gunn, it was an absolute no for her. Like, she was like, I'm not going to be in this movie. Get the fuck out of here. But because it was Gunn, they were that positive on it. And it's got like a 96% rating or some shit like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah. But you know, so that went like super big in that article. And also like John Cena was like, you know, when after doing Suicide Squad, he was like, I didn't care what James Gunn wanted to do. I was all in. And like, there's a quote from Cena saying like, it's just like leaving a brilliant man to his own thoughts. Like Gunn just comes out and he's like so great. And it's just like, you could just, the article is literally dripping with like, but not Zack Snyder. Like that's all it was the whole time. Everybody like Walter Hamada's like, we're bringing James Gunn back. We're going to have him do more stuff. He's amazing. He's a visionary. Like, I mean, Walter Hamada was the TS of TNP Studios criticism. Like it was crazy. I mean, they were just like pouring this praise on James Gunn, which just lets me know like they are super done with that entire Snyder.
Well, I bet they are kicking themselves right in the fucking ass. Like,
yeah,
you just, I mean, just think about where it could be, right? And it doesn't have to necessarily, you know, it doesn't have to necessarily be just like a Marvel movie or whatever. James Gunn's, I can guarantee you James Gunn ain't making no Marvel movie when it comes to the Suicide Squad movie.
No, it's going to be different. It'll be crass and weird, but it's way more violent and all this other shit.
Yeah, man. Just imagine if I don't know. I don't know who makes the decisions over there, but maybe this would be the thing that kind of rights the ship, and you know, with this new Batman movie coming out, and who's doing the Flash? I'm seeing spy shots from.
I want to say it's. I can't remember either. I want to say it's the writers from one of the Spider-Man movies is doing it. Or it's a team. I can't. It's changed directors and writers so many times. So honestly, I can't remember. But what's interesting is I could see Gunn's got one more movie under Marvel, right? He's got Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I could see Gunn being done with that, and DC being like, "We want you to fucking deal with our shit, straighten our shit out for us."
Yeah,
I could see it. I could see it. Even if it's not having Gunn direct everything, having Gunn at the top to manage the shit. Like Gunn being there, Kevin Feige. I could totally see it. Like, dude, you worked under Kevin Feige. You created this trilogy. You were so good that they fake fired you and waited until the the Trump administration was out of the way, and then they brought you back in. Like, they clearly think that you are like you're setting up their entire like section of their universe, right? Like he is directly responsible for the entire cosmic part of their universe. I could see him saying like, look, we kind of want you to do this. I could see it. And Gunn I think would be a good choice. It doesn't all have to be like Gunn style of directing and stuff like that, but Gunn, I think, could keep it under control, which is the one thing that they've never been able to do.
Yeah.
So,
the guy who directed It and It Chapter 2 is directing The Flash.
Oh, so it'll be overly long? I hear, yeah, that's all I've heard about It Part 2. I watched the first one. I was very scared. So that's fine. I mean, look, I'm okay with that. That's cool. The first It movie is really good. I haven't seen It Chapter 2, but the first It was great. It was a really good movie.
Oh wow! So it is Flashpoint. I'm looking at the premise on Wikipedia. Take that for what you will.
I don't know that that's. I don't know that that's ever been like confirmed necessarily, but it looks like it. I mean, Keaton is there, Affleck is there. I mean, like, well, how is she supposed to read it?
The premise is Barry Allen travels back in time to prevent his mother's murder, which brings unintentional consequences to his timeline.
There you go.
Flashpoint.
Yeah. So, It will be very interesting. Yeah, Ben Affleck is in it. Keaton is in it. Yeah, there's a lot.
Think those guys come back? Think those guys come back if this Flash movie's good, and they kind of do a reset.
You think who comes back?
You think this guy comes back? Think this guy?
Nope.
This guy right here?
Nope.
Think this guy comes back?
No, I don't think so.
Really?
They said that Cavill is not under contract for any future DC movies right now.
No, not under contract, but you can make a new contract. Disney.
No. You signed your contract. Sorry. I don't know. Look, if I were a betting man, as I think about this, when he comes back, when Flash moves the universes around and shit bleeds into each other and he ends up in this like alternate, universe or what have you. When he comes back, maybe everything isn't exactly the way it was before, right? Like the whole point of Flashpoint is that he eventually makes it back to his timeline and it's fine. But like more or less, maybe that's how you get your Black Superman, where he comes back, he's like, oh, what? Superman is black now? Okay. Like whatever. And he just has to live with these consequences because he can't risk fucking it up again. I don't know. So, but it would be interesting. Like, I think it would be super cool if like Cavill got a cameo, but that's probably not a good idea. From a fan perspective, it's not a good idea. I think you cut your losses and just be done with it.
Yeah, you probably want to just kind of move on.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Unfortunately.
Speaking of moving on, Collider spoke to executive producer for Marvel's What If, Brad Winderbaum. Winderbaum.
You're an idiot.
I know it's Mandelbaum, but Winderbaum, who confirmed that the original plan for the What If series called for 10 episodes before the pandemic forced Marvel Brass to reassess. Quote, we had to push an episode into season 2. It was just honestly like everything else that was a COVID impact. There was an episode that we couldn't hit the completion date, but luckily we do get to see it in the second season of the show. Season 2 will also be 9 episodes, thereby confirming 18 episodes in total.
Yes.
Each episode of What If has its own pace, story, rhythm. So there was no official mandate regarding running time, which gave the writers and animators a bit more creative freedom. Quote, we targeted a half an hour for each episode. Some of them come in a little longer. Some of them come in a little shorter. We wanted to tell as many stories as we could, and we had a certain budget that we had to work with. So we felt like 10 episodes, now 9 episodes was the right quantity. Look, it's not gonna feature voices from Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Tom Holland, Scarlett Johansson, Brie Larson, or Elizabeth Olsen, but it will feature Jamie Alexander, who played Sif, my boo Haley Atwell, who played Peggy Carter,
yes.
my other boo Angela Bassett,
yes.
Who played Ramonda, Paul Bettany, Leslie Bibb.
I don't know who that is.
Chadwick Boseman. I know who Leslie Bibb is. I don't know who. I can't remember her character. Chadwick Boseman, Josh Brolin, Clancy Brown, the guy that people think is black because Lex Luthor was olive skinned in that cartoon.
He was black.
Don Cheadle, Carrie Coon, who sounds like. You know what? Dominic Cooper.
Don't do that. That sounds like a racist version of Carrie, which is really weird.
And more. So there you go.
Oh,
wow. It's got, so it pretty much just has everyone from the MCU except for the big names.
I mean, Chris, wasn't Chris Hemsworth back? Yeah, Hemsworth is back.
Yeah. Who's bigger?
Evans
Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Hemsworth?
Oh yeah,
who's bigger?
Evans and Robert Downey Jr. were like, you can't afford us.
You're right.
Don't do that. You can't afford us.
Right.
That's fine. My guess is their characters, because like they're both zombies in this movie. Like they're just not the big focus.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like they've been the big focus for the entire fucking franchise. Like let those guys rest. It's cool. But what I noticed, Anthony Mackie's not even on there, which is kind of wild. I'm surprised by that actually.
Is he going to be in it? I don't know if he's going to be in it.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
So
Sam Jackson's in it. Wow.
Yeah, look, they got everybody. Almost. I mean, Dave Bautista was like, I wasn't asked to be on it. Like, there's plenty of people who weren't asked, actually. Like, it's not just the big ones, but I think they're telling very specific stories. I could see, I mean, Drax is obviously in this, but I think they're going to play Drax in a completely different way that Dave Bautista is not capable of doing.
Yeah, I think
I don't think he is.
I think the one image of Drax smiling, like looking like hey, like the life of the party and shit. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see that performance out of Dave Bautista. Like I just don't. And then look, hey, that's okay. Like, you know, it's just not that big of a deal to me. But look, I like this. I think that's pretty cool. It's kind of cool. Clark Gregg is going to be back. Yeah. So
looks, can't wait. Looks fun.
It's next week.
Next week, right?
Yeah. It's the 11th. Jesus Christ.
That's Wednesday, right?
Yes, I believe so. Yep. It is
That's
Wednesday.
next Wednesday. Oh, good. So we can watch it and talk about it on the show.
Great.
Good on you, Marvel.
Yep. Well, and it was funny because, I saw some preliminary reviews, and I think Agent Carter is the first episode, and people are like, "Yo, look, you gonna love it." That first episode is amazing, or the Agent Carter episode is just absolutely incredible. So yeah, I'm here for it.
Yeah, Hasbro, they didn't release them. They showed the toy line for the What If series.
Oh, really? Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, and I kind of want that Agent Carter.
Yeah, you just want to jerk off to it.
Well, you know me.
All right, that's awful. Next up,
the Bad Batch is coming back for season 2. I've been a bad. I've been a bad friend to Leonardo. I haven't been
who?
I haven't watched. I haven't been watching, so I have to catch up.
I am definitely not caught up.
But the Bad Batch is good, man.
Yeah, I like it,
and I'm glad it's coming back. Coming back in 2022.
Yep.
Quote, fans have enthusiastically embraced the action and drama of Star Wars The Bad Batch, and we're excited to see the Star Wars animated universe continue to expand in Disney Plus. As the dedicated streaming home for the Star Wars franchise, we can't wait for the second season of this fan favorite animated series. From Michael Paul with 2 L's, president of Disney Plus and ESPN Plus.
Okay, that's fine.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm cool with it, and I like that its second season is next year, right? Like they're not waiting too long. They're probably, my guess is it's not even going to be the latter part of the year, probably mid-year.
Yeah.
So that's cool. All right, sounds good to me. Doogie Howser MD reboot coming to Disney Plus. I think we had talked about this a number of months ago, but we got our first look at the upcoming series. It starts on Disney Plus on September 8th, so it is coming quite quickly. It's kind of cool. It's not called Doogie Howser MD. It's called Doogie Kamea Aloha MD because it is about a young genius girl who is a native Hawaiian. I think that's very fucking cool. This will be probably the first series I watch on Disney Plus that is not a Marvel or Star Wars thing.
Really?
Yes, I will watch this. And depending on how young this one is focused, I may see if my daughter is interested in watching it in like spurts. Because I think it's cool. Like a young kid who happens to be a young lady as a doctor. I think it's dope. And that Doogie Howser MD was a great fucking idea for a show. It just was.
Yeah. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that I didn't watch Doogie Howser MD. Of course I did. Am I going to watch this? I probably not.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll check it out. I'll watch the first couple episodes. It depends on how like where are they aiming? Like what demographic are they aiming for? If they're aiming a little too old for my kid, then no. But I mean the original I guess was aimed a little bit too old for her too. But Doogie was supposed to be 10.
Yeah, like if the kids were like 5,
oh yeah, they'd be all about it. Right.
But
we'll see.
They're 2.
Right. Like we'll see. Like sometimes she likes to have things like on in the background. Just like through osmosis, like doctor things. But like if it's like, oh my God, we gotta rip out that man's heart. I'm only 16. Okay, this is not gonna show she's gonna watch. But I might watch it depending on like where it is. Because again, Doogie Howser MD, he was supposed to be 10 in the beginning of the show. She's supposed to be 16. So I don't know. I think it's a cute idea. So I think it's kind of adorable. And I always like the idea of like geniuses. So yeah. It's a coming of age dramedy inspired by the hit medical series Doogie Howser MD. Follows Lahala Doogie Kamel Aloha, a 16-year-old prodigy juggling a budding medical career and life as a teenager with the support of her caring and comical Ohana family and friends. She is determined to make the most of her teenage years and forge her own path. As I read this, no, I'm not going to have my daughter watch this at all. This is going to be about boys. And,
like having your daughter watch Grownish, right? Like,
yeah, it feels, that show is, they do drugs on that show. My kid is not watching that.
No, not at all.
She can watch a child show like, The Bad Batch, right? Like, I have to say that there's a kid on that show. So yeah, look, I think it's cool. I think it's like we don't get a lot of native Hawaiian characters. Like that's just not a demographic.
I'm rooting for it, right? I'm rooting for it. It's just not. It's probably not going to be for me.
All right, fair enough.
I don't watch too much television, and when I do, I generally want to laugh. So
this might be funny. Next up, Gerard Butler. This is funny. Gerard Butler sues for $10 million in profits loss from the Olympus Has Fallen series. Look, I was laughing at this a lot as I saw the headlines, and then I read the article. I think Gerard Butler has a serious case. Like they tried to screw my man pretty bad. According to the lawsuit, Butler's contract entitled him to 10% of net profits plus 6% of domestic adjusted gross receipts above $70 million and 12% of foreign adjusted gross receipts above $35 million. His production company was also entitled to 5% of net profits, and Butler was to receive certain bonuses for hitting box office thresholds. The suit alleges that Butler has received irregular accounting statements from the producer and that Butler has objected to the statements. According to the suit, Butler hired an auditor who found that the domestic receipts were understated by $17.5 million and producers' receipts were understated by $12 million, including the $8 million that went to the executives. Yeah, Millennium pretty much tried to fuck this guy over by lying about how much money they made off of this movie. No, get your money.
First of all,
it's Millennium.
Thank you.
It's Millennium. Of course. Of course.
Like, that should be it right there. Whenever I see that little M logo, I'm like, this is gonna be some fucking trash. I imagine that Millennium Media is like the Spirit Airlines of the entertainment industry, right? Like they just like they'll get you there, but that's about it, right? Look, I'm all about look, go ahead and get your money, man. Like you said.
Yeah. No, they're trying to fuck you over, dude. Get out of here.
I have no problem with these people coming after these corporations. Somebody has to.
Yeah. Look, even if it's a guy who is clearly, a rich, successful actor, moderately successful actor.
I mean,
his movies make money. He's a successful.
There you go.
Look, I liked his last movie, Greenland. I did like it. It was actually surprisingly good. But no, this is fucked up. Like, you can't just understate how much your movie is making so that you can screw him out of his money. And look, good for him to hire a forensic accountant to try to figure out what they're doing. Like, I got no problem with that. Hopefully he's right, but it sounds like he very much is.
Yeah.
So, good on Gerard Butler. Scarlett Johansson, aka Scarjo, sues Disney for breach of contract. And I want to talk about that and the impact on streaming or streaming's impact on this. So this broke last week when we were off, but Scarlett Johansson was like, look, so you guys promised to release my movie, Black Widow, exclusively in theaters, and you decided to change that and release a day and date on Disney Plus as well. So it made a hell of a lot less money. You owe me money because I was promised a certain amount of money on the back end for bonuses when the movie hit certain monetary thresholds, like Gerard Butler is talking about. And because you threw this shit to streaming, you deadened that possibility. So I'm going to need my money. To that, I would say Scarlett Johansson is correct. What are your thoughts?
Without, having seen the contract, and just going off of what, I hear on the interwebs, I would say that, if everything that she's saying is 100% true, then yeah, it seems like, Disney owes her, a payday.
Yeah.
I imagine that this contract was drawn up and there was no like force majeure clause, right, in it, right? Because like it's an entertainment contract. Like I don't think they think about acts of God like this happening.
No, they don't. But, they're in Hollywood. They don't even believe in God.
Right, exactly. And now they're gonna fucking pay for it.
I told you I was real. Fuck. Take this plague.
Yeah. Like, or this something similar happened with Denzel Washington, and Denzel Washington threatened to sue Warner Brothers when The Little Things came out.
Right.
The Little Things was supposed to be in theaters only, and then Warner's, through act of God, was like, "Oh shit, we're gonna panic. Guess what? We're gonna put all our movies on HBO Max because we really want people to buy HBO Max." And Denzel Washington was like, "Yo, what the fuck?
Yeah,
like,
that's not my problem,
right? Like, you owe me some money." And he threatened to sue. So they renegotiated his contract.
You're goddamn right they did. You ain't trying to fuck it up with Denzel Washington. Don't do that.
You don't, You don't.
No.
Now, the problem with this is that with Scarlett Johansson is that she's effectively done.
Yeah.
They have her replacement right there, right?
Yeah. You already made your movie to introduce your replacement. We're good.
Right. But at the same time, if you don't make good with Scarlett Johansson,
it don't look good.
It don't look good. People might not want to work with you.
Yeah.
Or if people do want to work with you, they're going to make sure their contracts are ironclad, and they're going to make sure that they get something from like each download or
you don't want
whatever.
that shit. Like,
right. That's a sticky wicket.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily want that. And the consumer is not going to want that either, because that's going to mean that early access is going to go up to be $35 or $40.
Yep.
So yeah, this is a sticky wicket, man. But I ultimately, I am in agreement with Scarlett Johansson. If you sign a contract and you violate that contract, I don't give a fuck what is going on around you. We made a deal, and you got to honor that deal, or you got to provide a make good.
Yeah. Like, the thing is, apparently her contract didn't say it has to exclusively be in theaters. And so Disney was like, see, it didn't say that. But when she signed the contract, Disney Plus didn't even exist. You can't do that. Like, that's like, look, it may be.
You're changing the rules of the game.
Right. You're changing the rules of the game. You're like, hey, well, we didn't say that, so we're just going to release all your shit on Disney Plus. Surprise, nigga. Like, no, you can't do that. That's fucked up. So while you have her, like, technically over a barrel, it's not the right move. Like, it's not the right move. Now, if you have a contract that says, hey, we could release this day and date, da-da-da-da-da. Look, spoiler alert. This early access shit is a wrap after this pandemic. Like, they're not putting these big budget movies day and date. What they should have done was just say, hey, the movie's out right now in theaters, and in 30 days it's on Disney Plus.
That's what Paramount Plus does. Paramount Plus, the reason I was able to watch A Quiet Place is because it's on Paramount Plus. And Paramount Plus, they have a deal where movie theaters get it for 45 days, and then it's immediately on streaming, and you don't have to pay anything extra.
Why don't you just do that?
Right. So
look, they could have still done early access, right? Don't charge 30, charge 15, right? Like, or 20, right? Like, you don't have to charge 30. But had they done that for Black Widow, it would have made a ton of money, because hardcore fans are not going to want to wait 30 days. They're going to want to see it the second it comes out. And that guarantees, like, look, it might not have made $1 billion like it would have in like normal circumstances, but it probably would have made $600 or $700 million, and she would have gotten some money on the back end. Like, and you could have tried to be like, all right, look, we'll make you whole on that last 300 million, or, we'll give you an extra boost because, like, we know we got a 30-day thing or something like that. You could have done that, or 45 days, right? You could have done that, but instead they just threw it all up there, and they fucking screwed her. Like, nah, like, you could do the day and date thing, but you gotta pay her, You can't just do that and just be like, well, your movie just didn't do well. Like, I saw people saying, well, Black Widow didn't do well. That is a really shitty fucking bullshit, no nuance perspective. Like, that movie would have made $1 billion easily if it was in theaters.
Under normal circumstances, yeah, that movie would have made $1 billion. She has been in this thing since the second movie. She's been on this team since like the Disney team. She's been on this thing since the second movie. She's been on it before Disney bought them. Right. Like, this movie, like, if Captain Marvel made $1 billion, a brand new character,
right?
This established character that people have been clamoring that she should have her own movie and stuff like that. Yeah, this would have made $1 billion, yo. It would have. So, and that's probably why that contract was signed the way it was, because they didn't think this shit was the hellscape that we live in now. It was going to happen.
Right. And it's understandable that they didn't see it, but you can't just change the rules all of a sudden to then keep all the profits and give her nothing. That's fucked up. And I saw people's comment like, well, she got, like, Disney came out and was like, well, we paid you $20 million. I don't care if you paid her $55 million. That's not what the contract said. The contract is about the bonuses on the back end. People are like, well, she has enough money. That's not the point. It doesn't matter. Yeah. It like that's like saying, well, your boss at your job can break the contract that you signed when you came on to be hired because you've made enough money already. No, dude, you can't just selectively say the law doesn't count because you're rich. What are you, a billionaire? Like, no, the law applies because the law applies. Like, You can't do that just because you think rich people have enough money. If that's the contract she signed, give her coins. That's what she signed. Like, them trying to shame her and be like, oh, well, you're saying that everybody should go to the theater during the time of the pandemic. That's not what she said.
That's not what she's saying,
I heard people saying it like, well, fuck her. That's not what she's saying at all. She's talking about you owe me money for restitution because you changed the contract. That's it.
I'd never understood that argument. I've heard that argument from a couple different people, and I'm like, huh? I was taken aback that because some of them are I respect, and others are like, all right, you don't know shit, but yeah, like the whole, well, you're rich enough. Nah, yo, fuck you, yo.
No,
like you said, just because the dollar amounts are larger, like, put yourself in that person's shoes and shrink the dollar amount to whatever you make. Like, if you do any type of work, you sign a contract, like, that's it. Like,
give me my money.
Yeah, man. I don't
no, I'm not. I'm like, and look, I'm not. I think $20 million to do a movie is a disgusting amount of money, and I wish I had it. But I'm not going to sit there and be like, well, that's plenty of money, and she doesn't need. I'm sure she's incredibly wealthy, and she doesn't need, quote unquote, need more money. But that's not the contract she signed. The contract she signed was to get these bonuses, and you did something to purposely disallow that to happen. You can't just go shrug, bro. Like, if Black Widow went to theaters and it made $55 million and it was just a fucking turd, then that's on her. Like, you just don't get the money. But that's why they pay you less money up front, so that if your movie does well, look, they make $1 billion, you make a couple, tens of millions of dollars, everybody's happy. That's why they sign the contracts that they do. Like, we just talked about those fucking Mike Banning movies. Those movies aren't good. They're trash. But they make a lot of money, so they make so much money that they're willing to sign that contract with Gerard Butler that he gets a little extra on the back end, because they're going to make $400, $500, $700 million because people will go watch them. So, like, he shouldn't get gypped out of his money, nor should she. Like, if you're saying that their contract should be allowed to be broken, what you're saying is that any corporation can break a contract with their employee, and I completely disagree with that. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So, no, she's got the means, she's got the money, and she's got the team to fight this shit. Fight it. And she's done with them. Look, if Disney is smart, pay her. Be like, look, no beef. We good. You good. All right, here's your money. We do something in the future.
Yeah, because you don't want these headlines coming up.
Fuck
right?
no.
Like,
Fuck no.
There's way too many moving parts to this thing. There's way too many ways that people can tell this truth and spin this truth.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean?
Exactly.
Like, you don't want that, man.
And look, you see what Kevin Feige came out and did. That's the smartest.
Quick with it too.
No, I was very disappointed with Disney on this. Yeah, no, this ain't got nothing to do with me. We good. Because he's building a machine. He's got a machine running, and he's not trying to have look. Not only did this happen, but it also happened to a person who's been, like you said, been in this franchise since the second movie, and it's also a woman who has been in the franchise for that long that you didn't give a solo movie for that fucking long. So then when you gave her a solo movie, then you fucked her financially. That's a bad look, man. That's a bad look.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
It's a bad look. Disney should have been like, oh, you're threatening to sue. Cool. How much you want? Done. Like, this is not worth a headline for us. It's not worth a headline. It's not worth a headline. Look, what's the name is possibly going to sue for, Emma Stone is possibly going to sue for Cruella. Pay her her money, dude. Just pay her money. Just be done with it. Look, if I'm The Rock and Emily Blunt, I want my money too.
Yeah.
Look, here's the thing. They don't have that many people they're kicking out money to. The Rock, Emily Blunt, if their contracts are like that. My guess is they're not, by the way. The fact that they didn't say anything, my guess is their contracts were not that you get bonuses on the back end. But maybe. I don't know. Emma Stone. So what is that? Maybe 4 people you're paying? Look, that might cost you $100 million. So what? This is the price of doing business. It's not worth those headlines. Like you said, it's just not worth it.
Right.
Because guess what? You and Disney ain't in a $100 million business. They in $1 billion business. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, all right, it's $100 million. Whew, that was a rough thing to kick out. We getting back to making these billions, or what's happening? Like, let's get real. You got Spider-Man coming up. You got Doctor Strange 2 coming up. You got Eternals coming up. Like, we in the $1 billion business, baby. Like, we're done with all that penny ante shit. Like, just pay those people, get it out of the way. You're done with all this day and date streaming stuff, and just move on. I call The Rock, be like, look, before you even think about writing an article, take this money and shut the fuck up. My bad. Just get it out of the way, man. It's not worth the nonsense. It's just really not. Next up, nepotism in Hollywood. This is a super interesting article that came out. Franklin Leonard, who I did not know by name, he invented the blacklist. You know, the blacklist, which is like the list of the top unproduced movies in Hollywood every year. He came up with that, which is like a very cool thing. And they've actually ended up making some of those movies, and they've won Oscars, which is just crazy. But Franklin Leonard had tweeted out basically about, and I retweeted this story too. I just found it hilarious. There's a movie coming out in discussing film, had this tweet that said Hopper Penn, Sean Penn's son, and Brian Darcy James have been cast in The Right Way from director Destry Spielberg, Steven Spielberg's daughter, and writer Owen King, Stephen King's son. Right? It's like, thanks, Dad, the movie. And so Franklin Leonard responded to that, or quote tweeted it by saying, "Hollywood's a meritocracy, right?" ? And look, it's true, right? There's a lot of people who are kids of very famous people. But Ben Stiller pushed back on that. Obviously, Ben Stiller's from a very famous family. His father and his mother, both big names in Hollywood. He tweeted that, yes, just speaking from experience, I don't know any of these people basically, but I would bet that they've all faced challenges different from those with no access to the industry. Showbiz, as we all know, is pretty rough, and ultimately it is a meritocracy. Look, I think they're both right. Like, Ben Stiller is given a chance in Hollywood because he's Jerry Stiller's son, right? Like, it's a fact. Jerry Stiller was a fucking legend. Ben Stiller is still in Hollywood because Ben Stiller has talent. Like, you can't just get there and stay there and be a no talent ass clown for the most part and not make it big. Like, that doesn't really happen. I can't think of somebody who is like the kid of a famous person who absolutely fucking sucks and is like a multi-million-dollar big time movie star. I can't think of any. I mean, what are your thoughts on this?
I think that, I've read this Deadline article, and I read the back and forth, and I'm glad to see that this was an actual like discourse.
Yeah, between two intelligent people, right?
Yeah, and not just like people shouting at each other.
I'm sure in the comments it was.
Yeah, who cares about the comments? But it's I think it's disingenuous to pick out this one short film.
Right, it's a short film too, right?
Yeah, I think it's a little disingenuous to pick out this one short film to discuss nepotism in Hollywood, and maybe he was just kind of joking, like half joking.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm willing to give that guy the benefit of the doubt. But at the same time, you're right. Like, you get your foot in the door any way you can.
Right.
It's done in literally every industry.
Yeah, that's my whole thing. Like, nepotism exists everywhere.
It's done in every industry. And like the Smiths do it, right?
Yeah.
Will and Jada Smith, like they do it. Like, and I'm not mad at them for doing it.
No.
Like, because that's what you do for your kids.
Look, to quote Will Smith in Suicide Squad, white people that shit. Like, yeah. Like, he was literally talking about, like, just use your connections to make sure my kid goes to college. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Right. The colleges do it, right?
Yes. Like, did we put, like, the mom from Full House in that? In jail for that shit?
Exactly. Like, it would be one thing if people get their foot in the door and fail up.
Yeah, they're not the Bush family.
But you get in where you fit in, man. And I just I don't know. I found it disingenuous, but I continue to read this, and he's like, hey, I don't doubt that these people have faced their challenges, and but he's stuck on the fact that Hollywood thinks of itself as a meritocracy. Yeah. And look, we're not in that industry, but if Hollywood, I 100% agree. I believe him that he thinks that Hollywood thinks that it's all about pulling itself up by its bootstraps.
Oh yeah. No, 100% Hollywood believes that.
Right.
That horse shit.
And that is not the case, right?
No, it's not.
Like Obama said, you didn't build that, right? Like you didn't build, like people helped you, right? Like we live in a society, and people picked you up, and the other side was just like, see, he said you didn't build it because you don't do anything because you're fucking lazy, right? Like no. He's just saying that it's very difficult to do anything on your own.
No one does anything on their own.
Right.
No one has ever built a business in the history of businesses, except for UGG, who was selling rocks, carved into round pieces at the beginning of time. No one has ever started a business on their own. In the modern era, no, it's impossible. You got roads. This is paid for by tax dollars. Like, you didn't build the business on your own.
So Franklin Leonard goes on to say, like, what about the lack of diversity behind the camera, right? It's not because of lack of merit. And I agree that's a problem, right?
Right. And
but
look,
I don't know if is that what they're talking about here?
I mean, the thing is, Hollywood is sort of nepotistic.
It's incestuous.
Like it is. Like, it's just the nature of things. Like it's that way because it has always been a family business, right? Like, if your father is a director or your mother is a director, it's an art, right? Like that's the thing that's a little unfair to even not fair to criticize it, but it's a little unfair to compare it to, like, and this, I'm not saying this to like denigrate this, but like it's unfair to compare it to like truck driving or like, I don't know, being an architect or anything like that. And not even an architect. That's not even a good comparison. But like, let's say truck driving, because truck driving is not an art, right? People are generally would not consider themselves, a truck driver would not consider themselves an artist, and no one else would. That doesn't mean it's not skilled labor or anything like that. That's not my point. My point is, like, I'm married to an artist, right? Like, being an artist isn't just a job. Like, it is a way of life. Like, there is it's a very different thing. So if you have a father who is a director, they're an artist. So they probably talk about it more. It is much more a part of their daily lives outside of their 9-to-5 job. So it's not shocking that kids who grow up with artists tend to be artists. Like, it's not like, so yes, it makes sense that if your dad is a director, you get into acting or you get into directing. That makes a lot of sense. Your dad is fucking Stephen King. He's one of the most prolific writers in American fucking history in the modern era. He's an artist. Like, he talks about, he's inspired by things he sees. Like, oh, look at this thing, I'm going to put it in my book. Like, he's constantly talking about that and taking things from life and putting that into his art. It makes sense that his son is also a writer, right? Like, that shouldn't be a shock. And because of that, Hollywood is small. So if you're a director, where else you gonna go? If you're an American kid who wants to be a director, you go to Hollywood. Well, my dad's a director. Well, okay, I'm Jay the director. My son or my daughter wants to be a director. Oh, well, I got a lot of friends. I've been in the industry for 50 years. Hey, give a kid a chance. Look at this. Look at my kid's college work. Oh, that's pretty good. Turns out, give him a chance. What about this short film? Yeah, you want to give him a little bit of money, see what you can do? Yeah, sure. That's how it happens. But that doesn't happen in truck driving, right? That doesn't happen in IT work. Generally, it's not, because I don't like those type of jobs. And I'm a person who works in IT. Like, I don't talk about I don't see IT as an art or whatever. So it's not a part of my life that my daughter is like, I would like to also take up the mantle of IT. It's just not a thing. But art is a very different thing. So like, it makes sense that it's so incestuous. Whether it's a meritocracy depends on whether you have fucking talent once you get there.
Yeah, man. Like, look at Max Landis.
There's a perfect example, actually. It's a perfect example.
Like, he's the son of a legendary comedian, writer, director. Max Landis, he's had
Sean Landis, by the way.
Right. He's had a moderate amount of success. Not as much as but he's not necessarily to my taste.
No.
But if you were the son of John Landis, I don't know. I'm expecting like big things, right?
Right. That's a lot to live up to.
It is. And I don't necessarily think he's at that level.
No.
And he's not in the mouths of people, right? Like,
no, they turfed his ass out.
Right. Like he didn't, that's where the meritocracy part comes in.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
you're in, but you don't stay there. Now, I think Franklin Leonard, he's in reading more of his tweets, he's more concerned about like, well, how do you get more diversity behind the camera? I think that it is, as someone who knows nothing about this industry, speaking from literally 3,000 miles away from it, I think that we are starting to see a little more people get in. And look, it's because of people like Will Smith. It's because of people like Jordan Peele. It's because of people like Denzel Washington. Like, they're not blood related, but like, that's how you do it. Yep. And there are enough of at least black people. I'm not going to speak for anybody else, right? I see enough black people who are pillars in this industry that bring people in and bring people up. And I think stuff like that, I think it's moving slowly but surely. Look,
you wouldn't have had a Chadwick Boseman without a Denzel Washington. Quite literally,
you wouldn't have had Chadwick Boseman without Denzel Washington. So I think it's happening. I just think it's happening at a very slow rate. Look, when Chloe Zhao blows up, she's already an Academy Award winning director. She's blown up critically. When she blows up financially, you better believe she'll be bringing people in. She'll be bringing people in that look like her. She'll be bringing people in that have her ideals, and to get those people above and behind the camera. Look at Black Panther. Look at what Black Panther did.
Yep.
For the movie industry. I can't remember the woman's name. Damn, I can't even remember her title.
The costume director?
Yes, thank you. The costume director. Like, and now she's getting a lot of work because she's awesome, right? And the industry knows her and who she is, and it gets her more work. Like that's what you do. You bring people in. That's what everyone does. That's what everyone does.
Yeah.
We bring people in that we work with people, and we bring people in that we like and help boost them up.
Right. Like that. I mean, but that is every industry. Like it is.
It's literally every industry.
Right. You always like to pretend that it's like Hollywood is like that. Like, you sure? Go to your job and ask everybody how they got their job.
Right. Yo. Right.
I guarantee you there is 60+% of those people are like, well, I knew somebody who used to work here. Like
at least one. Most people have had multiple jobs. I'm willing to bet that at least one of those jobs, somebody knew somebody that got them that job.
My job, it was my buddy used to work there. He was leaving. Like, he was like, hey, I'm going to bike across America. I'm about to quit this job. You want it? Like, we were hanging out, like, there's a bunch of us. And, like, we literally had this conversation in a hot tub. And I was like, yeah, all right. Like, how much does it pay? And he was like, this much. I was like, bet. He was like, put your resume in. I was like, got it. Yeah. Right. So, like, you know, and he helped me out. So I was like, cool. I've been there for fucking 15 years. So, You know what I mean? Like, so, but I didn't just get the job as an unqualified moron. I got the job, and the meritocracy part is staying there for 15 years. Right. So, and
I would argue you weren't given the job.
No, I just got a chance to get my foot in the door.
They made sure to take an extra long look at your resume.
That's it. And that's all people want.
Right. And because guess what? If your resume was shit, I don't give a fuck who you know.
Right. Like, this guy fucking sucks. And I've definitely gone in an interview. I'm like, all right, buddy, help me out. And they were like, yeah. They're like, nah, nigga, you ain't get it. Like, oh, sad. So yeah, it happens. It happens. But yeah, no, Max Landis is a perfect example of that. Right. Like, now he fucked himself up because he's like a sexual predator, and they were just like, when people say nobody gets canceled, oh, he got canceled. They ended his whole fucking career. You're done.
It took me a minute to think of the guy's name. I had to look it up. I was like, who's John Landis' son?
Oh, that guy. That's right. Yeah. No, he's done. I mean, look, I'm sure he's well off. I mean, it looks like he's worth, according to this, $6 million, which is gross.
He's got that bright money, bro. That's your favorite.
I fucking hate that guy, dude. I fucking hate that guy. I fucking hate that guy. Ugh. But he wrote something in 2020. Right? Like, he did. So he's not that canceled, I guess. I mean, he wrote it for a movie starring Chloe Grace Moretz. And not that Chloe Grace Moretz is canceled, but like, she really kind of got turfed out of Hollywood, like, pretty sweet. Like, there was like,
what does she do?
She was Hit Girl in Kick-Ass.
No, I mean, what does she do that she is
nothing around anymore? I just don't think she's that great of an actress. I was like, they were just like, nah, we're good. Like, we don't need another Kick-Ass movie. You good? Like, you stay over there. So yeah, look, there are many things. There are many things that can keep you or get you into Hollywood. But having actual talent is a way to stay.
Yeah.
In the mainstream. You can make a bunch of shitty B movies for the rest of your life. Like, but that's not in Hollywood. Like, that's in the Valley. Like, you're doing shoots next to the house is doing porn shoots, right? Like, or the same house. Like, oh, we got 2:30 to 3:30, like, so that's not staying in Hollywood. So we shall see what happens. But I thought it was a good conversation between Leonard and Stiller. I thought they were both like totally reasonable guys. So
yeah, I appreciated that conversation because it wasn't like it didn't devolve into like fucking name calling.
Ben Stiller's a racist. Right, Leonard's a dumb N-word. You're like, yo, what the fuck, man?
I didn't think that could happen on Twitter of all places.
Oh, I just assume that was raging in the comments. I just read their commentary, which was lovely and interesting and reasonable. Like,
yeah.
I mean, look, Ben Stiller was like, look, there are people I think it was Leonard was like, yeah, there are people in Hollywood that we know shouldn't be here because like they don't really have a lot of talent. And Stiller's like, Next question. Like, I'll have nothing to say to that. But you're right. But I always like Ben Stiller. He seems like a good dude. All right, what the fuck brought to you by JTD? Take it away.
Doing question of the week, or
yes, yeah, we'll do question of the week. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Should companies compensate actors whose films go to streaming unexpectedly during the pandemic if they have points on the back end based on their film's ticket sales? I will go with the ones who did not click the link first. Click the link first. Hi says, yes, they need to establish a new template going forward to keep up this technology and consumer trends. Mr. Sutherland says, of course they should. It's what they signed up for initially. Granted, I'm not in the business, but if that's the case, but if that's what was agreed upon, then that's what it should be. Great show as always. Keep up the great work. That guy's super nice, man.
Yes, he is.
That guy's way too nice to be listening to this show. But
I gotta call that guy back. We got business to deal with. I have not forgotten about you, sir. I just have no time to read the things that you sent me. But go ahead.
Brian says, I don't care how much money someone has. If they're getting screwed over for money that should be theirs, then I hope they get it. Other than that, eat the rich. She and her people negotiated the deal and did the work. She deserves the earnings as much as any other laborer down the chain from star to PA. Maybe she doesn't need it. Maybe she'd be awesome if she gave it all away. But you deserve the pay you negotiated for the work you did, whether it's $10 mowing a lawn or $100 bajillion.
Listen to this fucking super lib. Everybody should be treated equally. Shut up, nerd. Give away your money, rich person. No, he's 100% right. He's 100%
right. Thaddeus says, absolutely. The studio will profit based on either mode of release, streaming or theatrical. The actors have no control over where the film ends up, but if their compensation is based on the film's performance, they deserve a share of that regardless. Cutting them out of the streaming profits is simply taking advantage of a loophole, which should be closed in favor of performance. It's perfectly written. 100% agree.
No, I do disagree with one part of it. Sir, the word is irregardless.
God damn.
Everyone is.
Anthony says should is the key word. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice and considerate, but what does your contract say? Will contracts change going forward? I think so.
Yeah.
Should they cut her I'm sorry COVID check? Yeah, to smooth things over. James says it would be nice of them, but they are not obligated to do it. If anyone has a manager, lawyer, or agent who isn't making sure it's part of their next contract, they need to find a new team. And Lauren says they should have to renegotiate the contract. Yeah, at least a renegotiation should happen. I'm not saying you got to necessarily dole out, a percentage of all your Disney Plus purchases, of Black Widow early access, but renegotiation should be on the table.
I mean, look, the thing is, they knew when they decided to do it. Like, they should have been immediately, hey, we need to renegotiate this because we're planning on doing this. That should have been their first move.
It's not necessarily their job to renegotiate. I think they should, but who in their right mind would, right? If you were that evil corporation.
Right. No, I hear you. Like, but again, that's why I'm saying just dole out the cash, like, to people like The Rock early to get them to shut the fuck up. Like, I just like, you like money? I do. Here you go. Don't mess with that house of mouse. We'll have you killed.
Oh.
That's the noise.
Can you imagine that's the last thing you hear?
That's the noise apparently Lindsey Graham likes to make, according to that one guy's tweets, which was really weird.
Are you serious?
That's what he said.
Yeah,
I swear to God, that's what he said.
All right. God damn.
Lady G.
What the fuck's
it really fucks with your mind to know that. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it just is. I'm not saying ugh.
Yeah. All right. The Micah. Here he goes.
I'm saying ugh to Lindsey Graham.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
Micah will no longer be playing Lollapalooza live.
I realized that as soon as I said that, someone is going to misconstrue what I'm saying.
I knew what you meant. I wasn't going to defend you, but I knew what you meant.
Look, Marble Slab Creamery has teamed up with Frito-Lay to create flaming hot Cheetos flavored ice creams and shakes. The mischievous mashup is a perfect combination of delicious heat. This is not your everyday ice cream, Marble Slab Creamery said. Prepare to have your world turned upside down. This creamery is based in a location and describes the flaming hot Cheetos ice cream as unexpected and a bit surprising and a whole lot of delicious. I hate fucking corporate speak.
Synergize with Frito-Lay. All right. Is this flaming hot Cheeto? This sounds like a Philadelphia situation.
No. If it was a Philadelphia situation, it would be fucking cheesesteak.
That's gross.
Ice cream. No, this is
what are the two places like? Get it from Yaks or Saks or whatever the fuck those. Get it from Tony Kukoc's fucking Philly cheesesteaks or Randy's. They're the fucking best over there. Like, why does it have broccoli? It's a fucking broccoli rabe and Velveeta cheese, just like God intended.
You get it down at the Wawa. Like, all right.
This is making me ill.
This is wow. This is based in Texas, and if you Google Marble Slab Creamery, you can see the flaming hot Cheetos ice cream and milkshake. The question is, would I try it? Of course I would.
Yeah.
Are you crazy?
Flaming hot Cheetos ice cream sounds amazing to try. I guarantee you Terrence is listening to this and going, absolutely fucking not.
No, come on.
When it comes to ice cream flavors, Terrence is a fucking coward.
Yeah, live a little, man.
Terrence didn't like that sriracha flavored ice cream.
That sriracha flavored ice cream was good, man.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty good. It was not bad. I like the what was the other one I got that day? Earl Grey tea, it was good.
I thought it was Earl Grey and sriracha together.
Yes, it was. That's right. I got 2 scoops. I got one of each, which is fucking weird, but it worked.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, flaming hot Cheetos, absolutely. I would try that. I might just go buy a bag of flaming hot Cheetos and put that on regular ice cream. Like that also seems unreasonable, but I would try it.
Yeah, why not? I mean, who cares? Yeah, it's not going to be hot, so you're just going to get the flavor of the Cheeto.
Right. Stop being an ice cream coward, Terrence.
You're being an ice cream bigot.
Classic Terrence.
He don't like mint chocolate chip, yo. Like, he don't like mint. Like, come on, man. That's basic, yo. I question your blackness if you don't like mint chocolate chip. Like, all black people like mint chocolate chip.
Nah, Tiara don't fuck with mint chocolate chip either. She was like, it tastes like toothpaste.
Well, she ain't no fucking she don't like black mint.
That's true. Yeah, what kind of Korean ice cream they got over there? That's what she prefers.
Right. Yeah. She'll eat some kimchi ice cream all damn day, but won't have mint chocolate chip and support her black brothers and sisters in arms.
Buttered pecan, right?
Right.
That's what they were eating on on the Pettus Bridge, fighting racism. Like, you want some? Like, absolutely.
You pronounce it pecan or pecan?
Butter pecan. Pecan?
Butter
Yeah.
Pecan.
Pecan, yeah.
Pecan? Okay.
Do you say pecan?
I used to say pecan. And then someone was like, you know what that sounds like.
That's so fucking childish.
It's a piss bucket. I was like, oh, all
right. That's like when my mom told me as a kid, I said something, I was like, well, that's the color of amber. And she was, or I would say like, oh, this kid Amber that I go to school with. And my mom just straight faced with just no malice appearing on her face, pure malice in her head. quote, amber is the color of urine. It's like, Jesus Christ. That's someone's name. Well, I work in the medical field, so it is what it is. I was like, wow. I mean, she's not wrong. To quote 311, amber is the color of your energy, which apparently is piss. Summer rains bring acid squirting land lobsters from hell. This place shared on their Facebook page a picture of this. They're called vinegaroons. They come out of their burrows in search of food and love. They're 3 inches long and relatively benign unless you happen to annoy them. Then they can pinch with their heavy mouth parts and shoot a well-aimed spray of 85% acidic vinegar from the base of their whip to protect themselves. No. They hunt scorpions? What the fuck? No. Nope. Where is this?
Acid rain.
Acid squirting land lobsters from hell.
Acid squirting land lobsters. Where did I get acid rain from? Somewhere where the new star of the Blue Beetle is from. Somewhere in Mexico, maybe.
That close.
I'm not saying that guy's from Mexico. I'm just saying.
No, it sounds like that's exactly what you were saying. I'll edit it to make sure that's exactly what you're saying. Texas, actually.
Texas. Okay. All right. Right.
No.
Another reason not to go to Texas.
They hunt millipedes, scorpions, crickets, cockroaches, and other invertebrates by sensing vibrations with their long, thin front legs, most commonly seen in the desert. This vinegaroon was taken on a stroll around the campground. No, you should hit it with a hammer. Get out of here. This is a terrible idea. This thing should not exist. And there's probably giant versions of them in Australia for no fucking reason. Yeah, no. Would I eat it? Probably.
Why?
I don't know. To show them I'm the alpha.
So that you're a real man.
That's right. Somebody's got to.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Oh boy, that's fucking insane. All right, trailers this week. First up, Army of Thieves. This is the prequel to Army of the Dead. This one is starring Dieter as a thief and him joining another team of thieves, an army, if you will, to rob some place. I don't know.
Look, I would watch this. It's a heist movie. I dig heist movies. It doesn't look like there's a lot of zombie stuff in it, which is probably good. It said it's produced by Zack Snyder, but it didn't say directed. So
no, he's not directing it.
Oh, that's a plus. That character was interesting. I wouldn't watch a whole movie starring him, but the surrounding he looks like he's going to be with an ensemble cast. So
look,
I will give that a shot.
That British dude, the Muslim dude, is hilarious. Like, I've seen him in other things. He's really quite funny. And then it's got the woman from the Fast franchise, who's also super beautiful as seemingly like the boss of the team. Yeah, I'll watch it. If it was directed by Zack Snyder, I wouldn't watch it. But I think he co-wrote this.
That is not a good sign.
No, it's not. I think so, because I remember. I think I remember looking this up, and I was like,
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
He did not. He created the story. He did not direct it, and he did not do the screenplay. So that could still be fine. It could totally be fun.
Story is technically like, story can be like an elevator pitch, right?
Yeah. I mean, it could be the premise that they have on Wikipedia. It's like story takes place 6 years before the events of Army of the Dead, during the beginning stages of the zombie outbreak, and follows Ludwig Dieter in his early days as a safecracker as he's hired by a mysterious woman to pull off a heist that will help a misfit crew of aspiring thieves. Okay. Like that's not bad. It's incidentally directed by the guy who plays Dieter.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, look, this this looks like a trashy Netflix movie, right?
That's exactly what it is.
And I like trashy Netflix movies. I like trashy action Netflix movies.
Wow, this guy's done a lot of work. Jesus Christ.
Apparently, that guy's a big deal from wherever the hell he's from.
Germany.
So I will watch this. I will watch this.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Like, again, as long as the movie is not written or directed by Zack Snyder, I'll watch it. I'm not watching anything else he does. Though I'm probably going to go back on that because I got to see how shitty his Star Wars movie is. Rebel Moon. I don't think I could, in all honesty, I don't think I can stick to not watching that. I have to know.
That's only on Netflix also, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because it's going to be the same story, but this time, like, Luke and Leia are going to bang each other and then find out they're related later.
No. They're going to find out first and then they're going to do it.
He's like, have you ever watched Brazers? Like, all right.
Right. All right, yo.
I hate everything. So yeah, I'm going to go back on my one rule with him because yeah, I'm not going to be able to not watch that. I'm not. I know myself. Kate, this is Lizzie Winstead's new movie. Look, this looks fun. She's like a badass assassin who, this is like somewhere between Atomic Blonde, which has the same producer, and Cranked, right? Like, it's a very, very not dumb Crank movie. But she's poisoned and she only has a couple of days to live type of shit. And she's got to like get revenge. And so then she just like goes balls to the wall, like just killing a bunch of people in some sort of like Neo Tokyo situation. It's fine. Looks fun.
This is speaking to me on all kinds of levels, man.
Yeah.
You know, I like these type of movies. I like revenge movies, right? Like who doesn't?
Right.
I like a bunch of fighting. I love Asian people. I love Asian gangsters. Yeah, one woman taking on a bunch of Asian gangsters.
Yeah.
She has to do it before she dies. Yeah, give me this fucking video game bullshit.
Right. I mean, it really is, right? I mean, even the car chase scenes, I'm like, so this is a video game, right? Like,
right.
This is Ultraviolet, that fucking terrible movie.
Right. Like, give me this shit. I'm 100%. I can't wait to watch this.
Yeah, I'm here for it, and I like that Winstead, after playing Huntress, is doing this because I thought she was really good as a Huntress in Birds of Prey. So, yeah, I'm totally fine with this. Speaking of Asian movies with Asian gangsters, here's a movie recommendation. I didn't put it in checked out, but I just rewatched it. It's a very old movie. You should watch Black Rain, with Michael Douglas it's on HBO Max. Mm. It's really good. It came out it's a Ridley Scott movie. Like late 80s, early 90s. I think it's late 80s. But Black Rain, it's good. It takes place in Japan.
Okay. Well, look, that's all you had to say, man.
Yeah. Like Michael Douglas is a cop and he captures this Japanese gangster in the US who like does some crazy shit. And they have to him and Andy Garcia have to take him back to Japan. And then they lose him when they get to Japan. And so then they're trying to solve the fucking crime of this all out Yakuza war that's happening. And they're kind of stuck in the middle. It's very good. It's a very good movie. But Black Rain, if folks have never seen it, it's cause they have like Turner Classic Movies on there. So there's a lot of stuff like that on there. I've been trying to just make my way through some stuff I hadn't seen in a long time. Finally, there is a trailer. Feels like it's been 10 years coming. It's been a trailer for Y: The Last Man on FX on Hulu. Look, I read this comic, the Brian K. Vaughan comic, I don't know, over 10 years ago at this point, before we ever started this podcast. And I've been looking forward to an adaptation for this probably for 7 years. And we finally got one. It looks really good. Like they're taking this very seriously, and I actually kind of appreciate that. But I think they got a hit on their hands.
It looks really good. I haven't read the book because I'm not a real nerd,
Right, obviously.
But people have been telling me that I should read it.
You should.
And I like Brian K. Vaughan. So I'm going to see if Comixology has it. And if they do, when does this come out? September something?
September something, yeah. September 13th.
I'm going to try and get through it.
I may reread this. I really like it's a good story. Like it's a really good story.
It looks long.
It's like 10 graphic novels, something like that.
It's 60 issues.
Yeah.
Okay. I can push through 60 issues.
Yeah, but it's very good. Also, the black woman, I can't remember her name in this, is a badass. Like she is super cool. But if for folks who don't know the story, basically there's something that happens that every male dies on Earth. Every male of every species, like of animals, everything, all dies like in an instant. And so only women are left, and there is only one male left, which is this guy named Yorick and his male capuchin monkey Ampersand, who you see in the trailer. And so he has to like hide because like women are like, oh shit, all the men are dead. Oh, that's sad. And then some other women are like, great. And if any other men pop up, we'll fucking murder them. Life is better without them. And so he can't just walk around like, I'm the only guy. Like, it's not a paradise. It's a fucking nightmare. It's like all these people want to murder you. And his mom becomes president because she's the agriculture secretary. But then like all of these men die. So she becomes president. Like overnight. So
I'm very curious to see the discourse.
I'm not. I'm fucking not. The one thing is like nerds who've read it would tend to be the people who'd be like, it's about girls. Yeah. Like they're the ones who actually know the book. So they'd be like, no, this is fine. Like this is totally fine. I'm not looking forward to the discourse by people who don't know the book.
Yeah, I'm
fucking Christ. No. Like there's a lot there. Like it's a really good social commentary. Like, and not so much about like men are the worst and women are great. Like it's not that. It's more like we're way more similar than we realize, right? Like,
yeah,
like the fairer, weaker sex. No, no, that's not true. That's not true. Like that's not how this world works. Like, and it's probably fairly accurate to what would happen in the real world. Like if all men died. So it's very good. I highly recommend Y: The Last Man. Next up, King Richard, is the, Will Smith movie, where he is playing, the father of, Serena and Venus Williams. Look, I'll tell you this right now. 2 things about this trailer, or 3 things. 1, excellent fucking trailer. Excellent trailer. Like all the feelings, like the vibes and shit. I was like, I like this story. Like the story is really good. 2, teared up, watched it multiple times, teared up in the same spot. Gonna cry during this movie. 100%. I know myself. Super, super into this story. 3, I'm a dad. 3, Will Smith is going to be in contention for an Oscar for this. This is the movie. That's
all he wants.
That's all he wants,
man.
That's all he wants.
Is to be a goddamn Oscar winner.
But you know what? This might be it for him. Like all of that 7 pounds and all that like bullshit. this might be the one. Like, this might be the one. Because, one, the Serena Venus story is amazing. It's an amazing fucking story. Like, we forget, as we see them as women now, they were little girls when they started playing professionally. Like, that scene where Venus walks out with the beads in her hair or whatever, like, that's like at Wimbledon, yo. Like, people forget, they were little kids crushing adults. Like we see Serena now. It's like, yeah, of course she's crushing people. Like, she's a fucking grown ass woman. Nah, yo, like, she's been around for a long time. Also, people forget, like, nobody was really talking about Serena. It was all Venus for a while.
It was all Venus for a long time.
And then Serena came out, and they were like, who?
And then Serena fucking hulked up. And
it was over.
Got bigger than Venus, and was just, and then literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
Then it's been all about her. So
yeah,
look, man, this I can't wait to watch this movie.
Yeah,
I like Will Smith when Will Smith is cool, but I respect Will Smith when Will Smith is trying to, like, really go to work.
Yeah,
and I think he's really trying to go to work in this. And
you can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell the passion he has for the project. You can tell immediately.
Yeah. Whereas this doesn't where Concussion and 7 Pounds and Collateral Beauty felt like Will Smith chasing an Oscar. This feels like Will Smith trying to tell this story.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's why he's going to be in contention.
Yeah.
For Best Actor.
Look,
because I feel it in this trailer.
Yeah, like, I do. I was just like, I was rooting for him. Like, the whole time, like, that's it. Like, this is what I want you to do, man. Like, you've been in Hollywood for a long time. You are a fucking name. You guys are like Hollywood royalty at this point. The Smiths are a Hollywood royalty.
Yeah. I mean, he used to have, like, July 4th, people would move their movies away from July 4th.
Get the fuck away.
Because Will Smith for a couple of years owned it, and then Wild Wild West came out.
Oh. I like everything about this trailer is hitting on all cylinders for me. Like, it is. I think it's a great trailer. I saw someone was like, why is this movie about their father? Like, yo, their father arguably is the greatest tennis coach of all time. Like, what? And he was just some dude.
Right. Like, the movie about them will come, yo. Like,
yeah.
But there is no them without him.
None.
That's why the movie's about him.
Right.
Like, because we can go, you know why the movie's not about them? Because we can Google Venus and Serena and get in everything we need to know.
Right.
You got to work a little harder to get their father.
Right. And look, I mean, again, he was a real regular dude who was capable of pushing his kids in ways that the world never thought they could. Like, look, that scene, look, I'm telling you right now, this scene where he's like, you don't just represent yourself, you represent every black girl on earth. Every time I see that scene, I get fucking choked up. That's the scene. That's the fucking scene that people are going to watch and be like, give this nigga the Oscar. Like, stop playing. That, whatever that full speech is going to blow the fucking doors off this movie. That's the speech. And, like, look, I hope that he is in contention. I don't know if he will get that Oscar, but I hope he is in contention. I hope this movie is as good as this trailer makes it look. I really do. I really do. And look, please don't look, this is just a message to black people. Like, just to us. Please don't find some bullshit reason to boycott this movie. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Oh, Will Smith said a thing in 1985 or whatever. Please don't do that. Like, this is an incredibly important fucking story. Just see the fucking movie, please. Yeah, I think this looks fan fucking tastic. I really do. I'm really excited for this. I know he's always chasing that Oscar, man, but I hope he gets it.
This is the first time where I think he actually has a 100% legit chance to get it.
Also, this is also day and date in HBO Max, so you have no excuse.
I didn't see that. You think I didn't see that?
I was like,
yeah, we doing this on Black cinema.
Oh, 100%. 100%. The weekend this comes out, that is going to be our movie. Get the fuck out of here. Absolutely. Yes. All right. Fuck.
Oh shit! I forgot about that.
I wish I
we
did.
forgot about the first.
Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage trailer 2. That's a legit like behind the scenes story. We legitimately forgot about it the first time it came out. This is a better trailer than the first trailer. This looks better than the first movie. This looks terrible. Are you going to finally watch this movie?
I got a thing about sequels. I can't watch a sequel without watching the first one.
Yeah, no, I know. Are you going to watch the first one and
I don't want to be lost. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, no. So are you going to watch the first one? No. Are you going to watch the first one?
And I'm not watching the first one. So so until I watch the first movie, I can't watch the second one until I watch the first one.
I will watch. I will make a deal with you. If you watch the first movie and this movie, I will watch one episode of Succession. We can deal with it.
No, you gotta catch up.
I know. All right.
Before I even think about watching.
No, you're not gonna. No, don't do that. You got to watch this movie. What does this look like to you? You're a longtime Spider-Man fan. Like, does this portray Carnage properly?
I'm a Spider-Man fan, but I'm also I also hate the symbiotes.
Yes,
I don't like them. They're fine, but the symbiotes are like Boba Fett before Boba Fett's renaissance, right? Like overhyped and didn't really do anything unless you like read the Star Wars books or whatever, right?
Right.
Look, let's get the superficial stuff out of the way. Carnage's design, it's okay. I'm used to Carnage not having like separate teeth in his head. Like I'm used to like his face just opening up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's just pedantic fanboy bullshit, right? He's got the tendrils. I was wondering how they were going to do the tendrils, because the tendrils are like wiggly. You know what I mean? They're like all over the place. And these just look like they're coming out in like certain things, right? But anyway, it looks fine. It looks like a red Venom. They even said in the movie, it's a red one, right?
Right.
Looks like a red Venom. It's fine. That's never been my issue with these movies. My issue with these movies is that, one, I'm not a fan of the symbiotes themselves, or the symbiotes. The first movie, honestly, I didn't think the first movie looked that good.
It wasn't good. It was bad.
But this one does look better. It's weird that Cletus Cassidy bit Eddie Brock, and that's how he gets his
right. What?
Yeah, I mean, it's an adaptation. You could do whatever you want. I just find it funny.
How does he get the Carnage symbiote?
I forget, but Carnage is like a spawn of Venom. Like, think of Carnage as like a wild child, like who lashes out. And they're aliens, so they just kind of like they spawn off of each other. But I forget the specifics of it. I just remember the Carnage symbiote bonding to Cletus Cassidy. It bonded to Norman Osborn at one point. And it just was, I don't like Carnage. As much as I hate Venom, as much as I don't like Venom, I can't stand Carnage. Carnage is like Spider-Man's Joker. Like, it's just chaos. And that's the point of the character. But the point of that character originally was, hey, here are Spider-Man and Venom, two people who loathe each other,
right, that
have to come together to fight a force that's even crazier than the two of them combined.
Right.
Like, that's what made Carnage so dangerous, that enemies had to team up to face him.
Right.
I don't know what the story's going to be. look, I'm trying not to shit on this movie because I know that there are a lot of Venom fans and there are a lot of Carnage fans, and I respect it, but I can't say that I can't honestly say that I'm going to watch this movie, man.
No, I know you're not going to watch this movie.
I can't I can't do it, yo.
I don't want to. I don't want to. I really don't want to. I don't. But I'll do what I did for Venom, which is I will watch it, and if it's bad, I will tell you that it's bad, and then people will not listen, and then they will give this movie $800+ million.
I mean, I don't know what the story was in the first one, but
bad.
I think this one will probably be better. Because
I think the movie will overall be better. Yeah.
I think the going by the trailers, the trailer looks better than the first movie's trailers, and people know who Carnage is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knew who Riot was.
Well, I guess that's Shriek or Scream or whatever.
That's I think that's Shriek. Scream is another symbiote, but I think that's Shriek because Shriek and Cletus used to like go together, to use 90s parlance. They were lovers, but the thing with Shriek is Shriek I think was a mutant. So I guess they're going to change that, right? Because unless they let mutants be in the, that's not how they introduce mutants, right? That's not how they introduce mutants in anything.
No,
right?
There's no way Marvel allows that. Like, no,
right.
no.
So that's going to be changed a bit, but all that's semantics, right? Like this is an adaptation. I don't know. I just wish Spider-Man. I care so much more about these characters when Spider-Man is involved. I just do. Like, I really don't care about.
I think that's pretty much everyone's argument. Who's not gaga over this?
Yeah. So,
hey, whatever. Look, you can have it. I'm just zero interest. I really am. I don't think it looks good at all. So, of all those trailers, I'm really excited for King Richard, Y the Last Man, and Kate.
Yeah.
Yep. That's it.
So,
fuck. All right. I think that is it for us. Anything else?
Let There Be Carnage. What a stupid fucking title that is, dude.
Why wasn't it just Maximum Carnage?
Like Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Yo, it's too wordy. It's
Venom, the emancipation of one Carnage, or whatever, like some stupid fucking long time.
Venom, the assassination of Cletus Cassidy by the coward Eddie Brock. That's what this shit.
I think that's actually too long of a title for the show. Like that's the funny thing. That's too many words.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. No thanks. I'm good. All right, we'll be back next week.
See ya.
Later.